Hey guys, Insomnia here with some more AFK Arena. Today we are back with the Mauler team, our final faction team. As you can see, we're in 24-48, just trailing a little bit for the Wilder team. We have our Graveborn team who is in 25. We just pushed our Light Bears into chapter 26. So I'm hoping we can get a couple more copies of Anoki so we can continue to push the Mauler team. And I want to see really how well he performs. So looking at the team right now, we do of course have Sophia and Warek. Warek is another hero that we might possibly swap out depending who we build. I've heard that Skarath is very, very powerful in regard to running Skarath and Sophia together because Sophia's Falling Sun ability will create more damage when Skarath actually puts all of the heroes grouped up perfectly in the middle. Warek, on the other hand, does carry a lot of damage, and we do have his signature item maxed out. Screg and Warek. Screg is performing really, really well. Warek is the other one that kind of underperforming. He has a tendency to die very, very fast, similar to Astrilda, similar to Grez. They are scaling heroes. It does take a while to actually get them built up and actually performing well. Nemitsu is still the only support class that the Mauler team has. Does well in the campaign. Every other aspect of the game doesn't do well at all. K-Sauce, since the rework with K-Sauce, he does a significant amount of damage, but his survivability is almost nil, meaning that he dies super, super fast. Even when I swap all of my best gear onto him, he does have a tendency to die really, really fast in 1 or 2 hits. But if you can get him to live or survive a little bit, he can do a ton of damage. And of course, we have Anoki, which we're trying to build here. We do need, I believe, 1 more copy of him. We have 18,000 gems. We have a significant amount of scrolls out of the Celestial Isle event. Same with Skarath, just looking for a couple more copies. That way we can build him. We are going to go with Skarath over Titus at this point, just because of the team comp that we have. So we do have a couple copies of Brutus, a couple copies of Titus. Cetrana's another one that I'm kind of saving. I know I have her ascended on my main account. I don't really use her anything short of the Mauler Tower, which she does perform pretty well. But just in case a rework comes down the road, we want to save the ascended heroes that we have. So let's go ahead and get into the summons. Here we just picked up 12 cards, so just a little bit of fodder. Been pushing the faction towers quite a bit. So we have 2 elite stones here, which copy of Savius. Definitely need more food for the account, so we can go ahead and continue to build Skarath. We have a lot of emblems that we've kind of stockpiled here, as well as 15 more cards here. So let's go ahead and get a couple heroes up, which that's another copy of Elite plus Savius, which is good. Then a little bit more food there with a couple more elites. All right, so we have 64 total scrolls. So like I was saying, we do have a lot of scrolls at this point. 18 faction scrolls, so we'll have 1 pull there, 18,000 diamonds as we continue to push the Mauler account. On the Stargazer side, we don't have any at this point, and we don't have enough for companion summons. So we'll go ahead and get into our 64 scrolls here, which the wish list, again, still looking for Anoki and Skarath. Titus we'll keep in there. Screg and Warek we're looking to add a couple more stars to. But I'm actually going to swap out Warek for Nemitsu, just because I want to complete building Nemitsu. Because he is the only support, and rumor has it there will be 2 Maulers reworked very, very soon, is what the rumor mill has said, that 2 Maulers are getting reworked, and they're going to be very, very powerful reworks to actually make the Mauler faction definitely worth something. And I'm fingers crossed, hoping that it is Nemitsu. I've been holding out for him. I do love his totems. I love the distraction, but overall, he doesn't really heal that much. So if they boosted up his healing or even added a shielding aspect to him, seems like it would be very powerful, and the rework for him would be perfect. So let's go ahead and get into the summons here, which again, we have 64 scrolls. So we're going to have quite a few summons. Not too many rare cards, 3 cards on that pull. And there's our first elite. Hoping it's Anoki. We need a copy of Oden. We will definitely take a copy of Oden. Still on the fence if Oden and Isabella, depending which one I'm going to run, or which one we're going to replace, or if we're just going to run them both together with Pharrell or Nara. A lot of different combinations for the Graveborn team at that point. All right, so this should be our elite pull, which we got another one there. Still hoping for Anoki. It is Lorzen. He is very, very good when it comes to Riz or some of the guild bosses because he boosts the ultimate damage of some of the heroes. A lot of people have stopped using him as of lately, but I know White Sushi just put him in the guide to boost the damage when you're fighting Soren and Riz. And another elite, so that is back to back there, is a copy of the twins. Look at that. I believe that will be able to take us to Elite Plus anytime it's a Celestial or a Hypogean, regardless of who it is. Very, very good pull there with a copy of the twins. The rarity of them is very high. I believe you only have like a 2% chance. And another elite right there. So we're getting a little lucky on the elites. There he is, Anoki. All right, so that'll be able to take him to Legendary Plus, which means we just need a little bit more food, and we should, fingers crossed, have enough food to get him up to at least Mythic, giving him a signature item, which is what I want to see. I do not have him on any accounts. So that takes Anoki to Elite Plus there, and it takes the twins to Elite Plus as well. A little bit more food, get another copy of the Spider Queen. So still have 12,000 diamonds left and a card on the table. So hopefully we can have enough to get him to Mythic is my goal. A couple more rare cards there. And another elite. This copy of Nara. Definitely a solid Graveborn hero. Yep, so a couple more there. Another copy of Eden. All right, so one more summons, and then we do have the faction summons, but look at that, 6 cards, even though we didn't get any Maulers there. We'll do one Mauler pull here, which we'll go ahead and just swap this over to our Maulers. Hopefully 1 or 2 elites would be absolutely phenomenal, which there's one. Guaranteed a Mauler. It is Anoki again. So that means we still need 3 copies and food that we could get him to Ascended, but there's another 4 rare cards. So definitely pretty good there. And then we do have 2 cards on the table. Hoping there's another copy of the Spider Queen, so that'll give us another Elite Plus there that we can use for food. Got a copy of Anoki. Look at that. We are on fire. 2 copies, and then we'll have enough to go ahead and get him to Ascended once we get the food. It is a copy of Brutus. Brutus, everybody really says he needs a rework. I'm not sure if they're going to do a rework with him. His signature item is kind of subpar. Short of his immunity shield, he does not really do much. He doesn't do much damage. He doesn't perform really well. So I'm wondering if he is going to be the other hero that they rework just because he is really ingrained in the storyline for the game, but I'm not sure exactly who they're going to be focusing on. So here in the barracks, we don't have enough stones, so we'll go ahead and hit up the Resonating Crystal while we're here. Leveling it up, we're on 259. We should be able to get a couple more levels here. That takes us to 260 at this point. So we should be able to do probably 263, I'm thinking. So that's 261, 262. That's already 23 levels over our 240 mark where we started. A little bit short again on Essence. The Hero EXP were good, just waiting on the Essence level 262, which puts us at 14 million power. All right, so let's go ahead and see. There's another copy of Anoki, Brutus, and the Spider Queen. So Anoki, we do have double copies there. So again, 2 more, and then we'll have enough to get him a little bit higher. But do we have enough food is the question. So we have the Spider Queen, we have Savius, we have Titus, and we have Brutus. That's going to be a tough decision. I don't think we can buy anyone else out of the shop. We're not going to have enough. We're not going to have enough rare cards to actually get somebody up here. So I'm thinking, though, with the amount of copies that we have of Brutus, I think maybe Satrina, but then if they do a rework with her, we might be a little bit short there. But I would definitely love to get him to Mythic. just to continue to focus on him. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just use a copy of Brutus is what I'm thinking. As much as I don't want to, I'd like to use that copy of Satrana just because I've used copies of her before. But you know what? Let's go ahead and save Brutus just in case it's going to be the rework. But we'll go ahead and we'll use the Satrana copy. That way we can get a little bit more food and we can actually get him up to Ascended. I know I don't like using the heroes just in case the rework is coming, but I definitely want to see him and I want to see how well he performs at Mythic. And there is his signature item unlocked. So let's go ahead and take a look at his signature item. And we do just need 2 more copies and we'll actually already have him at Ascended, which is absolutely amazing. So a signature item, the Blood Guard's Warhorn. The ability raises Anoki's attack rating by 4% for every non-summoned ally that is standing near him, and his defense rating by 10% for every enemy standing near him. So essentially, if he's in the front line, if there's 1 or 2 heroes around him, it's going to be 10 or 20% boost with his signature item, which is going to increase his defense rating and his survivability by a ton. So there it is unlocked. We do have enough to go ahead and take this to +10, which increases his attack rating and his defense by 15% for every enemy that's standing near him. So essentially, if he has 1 enemy, it's 15. 2 enemies is going to be even greater. If he does have 3 enemies or 4 enemies, he is just going to continue to get stronger and stronger as more enemies are attacking him and are around him, as well as the enemies that are standing near him. And this is where I also think a hero like Titus or a couple heroes that are going to go into the front line and actually follow him in can increase his attack rating by quite a bit. We do have 374 emblems here, so we will continue taking this a little bit higher because his +20 is where he really performs well from what I have heard. So there's 17, 18, 19, and there is his +20. Excluding summoned entities when there are more than a total of 3 characters on the battlefield, which is perfect because we start with 5 versus 5, 10 characters total, including enemies and allies. So more than 3. So if there's 4 or more, Anoki recovers 5% of his maximum health per second and becomes immune to crowd control abilities. So when there's a lot of heroes on the battlefield, he is going to be immune to CC and recover 5% of his maximum health per second, which is crazy, crazy good healing ability there. All right, so there he is, +20 at Mythic. Super excited to see him. So Sophia's already at +30, still working on her gear a little bit. We have Warek, who is at a +30, again, still working on his gear. Scrag, which we can go ahead and level up his vitality artifact, making it a little stronger, doing plus, I believe, 12 and 8, which gives a little bit more defense. We have Warek at the +20. And then we do have Nemitsu, which might focus on him, might get him up to the +20, but all that it does is increases the totems, which could be really, really good as long as we can get the survivability of his totems down. Kasos, we're at +20, as well as Anoki is at +20 at that point. But his +30 is ability to raise Anoki's attack by 12 and then 20% for every enemy standing near him. So I'm thinking out of all the heroes that we have here, we're going to go ahead and focus on getting his signature item up even higher. I do want to see how well he performs. I have a feeling he is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So we'll get him to 25. We're going to be pretty close, probably about 27. I think 27 is where it's going to end. So look at that. He is up to +27 at this point. So within the next couple weeks, especially if we have some events, we should be able to have him up to +30 and just boosting his defense through the roof, which is going to be awesome. I'd also like to probably I'm thinking the Drape, just because of his recovery rate. So health recovery rate is increased to +15%, plus a little more defense, which will give him more defense, health recovery, because remember, with his signature item, he is going to recover health, which is going to be perfect. So we'll actually take our gear off of Warek. We'll go ahead and put it on here, giving him 657 attack rating. So he is ready to go. I cannot wait to see him. So let's go ahead and get into the campaign. Like I said, I think Warek is going to be just backlined to Anoki, which I want to see. Might help with the survivability of K-Sauce quite a bit, but I think I'm going to try running Nemitsu with Sophia, with Verk, with Scrag, and with Anoki will be our 5 to start. Because even with Nemitsu is the totems help a lot. They do help a lot just with the distraction, especially in the campaign. So we are on 24-48 as we get into the campaign. Super stoked that we do have Anoki up to Mythic. I'd love to get a Mythic Plus, but I don't want to use all of the rest of the heroes, even though we did use Satrana. We'll go ahead and get into the campaign. Hopefully we can shut out Chapter 24 at this point and move on to Chapter 25. So let's go ahead and get into the campaign. All right, so 24-48. Like I was saying, I hope we can go ahead and finish out 24, get into 25. This one comp, we did throw in Warek. I tried it a couple times with Anoki. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it down. So we swapped Warek back in, and even there, he dies relatively early, but as long as we can get Verk to ult, usually we can get the stage down just because of the sheer DPS, especially if Scrag is still up. So we have a lot more utility. Here we have 8.11 million damage from Verk. So 24-48 is done. That was a stage that we were stuck at for a significant amount of time. Same with the Wilder team. Sticking with our team, which is the Warek Scrag combo. Overall, Scrag has a very, very high survivability rate. And that's the reason why he does so well. As you can see here, even Brutus with his immunity shield, Scrag just sits there and takes the damage, similar to what Arthur does, without dying. If he would have died, Brutus would have just ran to the back line, started killing Verk, started killing Nemitsu, just absolutely decimating the team. Same, another factor for Scrag is when he's fighting like Thane and Athalia, a couple of high damage heroes, face to face, he has a damage reduction. Again, here with Brutus, he can just fight Brutus. Nose to nose, doesn't die at all, which is what you need in a tank. Scrag, Arthur, similar skills, very, very powerful. So as we continue the push here, as you can see, we have K-Sauce, which does, again, a lot of damage, the enemy K-Sauce, if he ults and if he can survive. If you do have the ability to get to him, he's very easy to kill. Same with Scrag here, just absolutely diesels over Golas, which is awesome to see. 5.8 million there, 3.99, so 4 million from Sophia. As we continue, 24-52. So this one we're going to swap in Anoki. I want to start using him. When we get him to Ascended, I can see him just being a monster because he is shielding our team, as you can see there, with his aura and the healing. His defense is, I believe at this point, is 15% higher. And there's his ult pushing the whole entire team to the back row. Perfect to take out the final heroes because everyone's at the back row. And look at the aura. His aura is just a monster. And look at the shields we got from him, which is exactly what we want. I can see his survivability just being absolutely insane when you compare it to Warek, just because of the aura and the shields that he brings to the team, especially if you have other heroes that are taking damage as well. Like right here, we have Sophia, who's in the back line, or not Sophia, excuse me, Sylvana, who's in the back line on Nemitsu. But Nemitsu has a shield. Nemitsu has his totems. And if you've seen there, Anoki stunned Sylvana being on Nemitsu. So again, the utility that he brings and the shielding that he brings is just crazy. Even though he's only at Mythic, if I got him in a Mythic Plus, when I get him to Ascended, I can see him performing really, really well overall with the team comps. There's the knockback. So the entire team goes to the back. Perfectly lined up for Verk. Perfectly lined up for Sophia. And of course, we have Thorin to deal with again, which always tough to kill, especially if you don't have casters. But even there, the retaliation did not kill Anoki on that one. Here comes his ult again, pushing Thorin even further back. And I'm hoping we can get him down because Anoki goes down. His retaliation ability, as you can see, I mean, it's taking like 2 seconds, and then he is going right back to ulting. And a ton of healing there. So we did get him down. Very nice. All right, so let's look at the damage there. Got to be insane. 14 million damage from Warek because he was the only one alive to go ahead and take out Thorin. Which brings us to 24-55. We're gonna put Scrag on top just because I feel like Savius would kill Anoki very easy. And there's his little stomp stun, which is perfect for Grez. Gives Anoki the ability to go ahead and regain some of his hit points with his heal over time. And look at the aura. Just an absolute huge aura that he puts out. All right, so 8.89 million there. Which again, the shielding that he's bringing, I'm very impressed with Anoki's ability. I cannot wait to see the 2 Maulers that are going to be reworked. I don't know who they're going to be at this point. A lot of people have asked. Right now, I do not know, but as soon as I find out, I will definitely let you guys know. But I think the Maulers will be viable, especially if they get 1 or 2 reworks and if they make Nemitsu a solid support class. So again, Thorin here, very difficult to kill because of his retaliation ability. 7 million there, 9.4 from Sophia, so still doing a ton of damage. And that's where I'm interested to see where Skarath is going to fit in. Because a lot of people have said replacing Warek with Skarath makes a big difference. Skarath does a lot more damage than Warek, which I find kind of crazy because Warek is doing a lot of damage as it is. Not only with his ultimate ability, but also with his poison vial that he throws. His little damage over time poison. So we are almost done. We are on 24-58. Again, another battle with Thorin. Anoki is going to stun Thane, which is perfect. Gives us the ability to actually kill Thane right there because he was stunned and he could not ult. Warwick's ult still got Thorin up, but we do have Sophia. As long as we have Sophia up, Thorin is really easy to kill. And look at that. The distraction of the totem turned him around, scatterbolt stun. Warek and Sophia was able to take him down very easy there. All right, so Anoki drops his aura. He's got 2 heroes there, so that gives him a 30% defense buff, which even though there he went down pretty early. And Sophia's going down as well. But Scrag's Iron Jaw just provided the CC that we needed to get that one done. 12 million damage from Warek, bringing us to the final stage, 24-60. I'm going to put Anoki in the front because I want both heroes. That'll give him his double, which he went down pretty quick there. Might still be able to get this one down. As long as we can get Sophia's Falling Sun ability fully charged, which we do. And there's another stun. Warek, we got it done. Look at that. All right, so chapter 24 is done. 10 million damage there from Sophia, but chapter 24 is done. Moving into 25 at this point for the Mauler team. So now the only team that is still in 24 is the Wilder team. And most of the Wilder team, they're lacking behind because of Maulers, essentially. The Maulers just absolutely destroy them. So continuing with Anoki here, again, the aura that he puts out is huge. Even though there was Savius, he died a little bit early. We might still be able to get this down. Fortunately, a defeat. Let's switch these 2 up. The little Iron Dwarf pushing Anoki back. So we need the survivability of Scrag and the Iron Jaw to actually get this done. Just because Savius puts out so much damage so fast. And Anoki's survivability, he's living through quite a few of these campaign stages, even though he's only at Mythic. That's why, like I had said earlier, I cannot imagine with him being higher, getting him to Mythic Plus, getting him to Ascended. It's going to be very hard to kill him as he continues to build power. There's our knockback, pushing the whole entire team to the back line. Such a perfect addition to the Mauler team. I cannot say it enough. All right, so continuing in 25 here. And look at the totem with a Sophia's ability on it just killed all 3 heroes in the back line, which was crazy, which brings us to 25-4, so the first boss stage into 25. Iran pulled Anoki in, which he's still up there, went down pretty early. Might be able to get this down usually as long as Vert can ult. It's going to be close. He's got it. Look at that. Vert just running up and down where heroes have to change him. 10.5 million. Where they have to just chase him all over the map, especially if they're melee. 25-5. Fighting with Gorvo here, but look at the shields we got on our team, which is perfect. And I think also with this combination with Anoki and Scrag both being in the tank elder tree, will make a big difference on their survivability, because we have Warek and we have Kasos, who is in the warrior tree, that have a tendency to die a little bit earlier because they don't have the tanking trees ability. So I know they do have a shield, but they don't have the mitigation or the healing that the tank tree possesses. Falling Sun ability, perfectly placed from Sophia. So we continue into 25-7. Again, dealing with the dwarves. The dwarves are building their little cannons back there. But Sophia's ability just almost destroyed the dwarf and the cannon, both together in the back. To get the stage done, Anoki's big stomp. Which brings us to our next boss stage, 25-8. Fighting Kaz and Almas. So getting a couple Wilders in here. There's Anoki's little stun. And all of the heroes pushed right to the back with the knockup. Perfectly placed for Vert to just minimize the amount of running around that he had to do, because they were all kind of stacked right in the back together. So even here, 10 million, almost 11 million damage from Vert. So it looks like Vert and Anoki go together really well. So I'm seeing a lot more synergy from the Mauler team, and as you can see, focusing on Anoki here, he is definitely a good choice. He survives a lot more than what Warek does, essentially. And he's got a knockback, he's got the shields, he's got the aura. He is going to be the replacement 100% for Warek. 7 million damage there, 3.4 from Vert. Brings us into 25-10. Now this stage looks very tough. You have Kasos, you have CC from Falks, and we died super fast there, but you have stuns from Sophia, as well as the throwing axe ability of Kasos. So even there, I mean, Scrag is dying incredibly fast here. Let's switch out the two. Let's see if Anoki can do anything in the bottom. Which again, I mean, we're not even 10 seconds in and we're already losing 1 or 2 heroes. Even with Thane there just doing a absolute insane amount of damage. All right, so we got this one. Scrag's living a little bit up front, up top, but as soon as Kasos and Sophia start the stuns and start the scatterbolts, we're losing a lot of heroes because of Sophia just boosting the damage of Kasos. Very tough combination. All right, so this will conclude it. Did about 25 runs at this campaign stage, which was 25-12. Could not defeat it. Even swapping in Warek, even swapping in Kasos, could not get it finished. But we'll go ahead and we'll collect up our gems here, and that will do it for the Maulers. We are out of 24. We are into 25. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of Anoki. I can see him just being an absolute monster tank for the Mauler team overall, with his shields, with his stuns, with his ultimate. Very cool to see. So let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.